become more skeptical. So only the real powers they go over. But international wise, I've been applying for 13 applicants already, zero responses with my resume. When I go on Facebook, there's like 10, I mean 10 in an hour who replying like your resume is perfect. It's it's like if you have 4.5 million cash collected in 6 years, of course it's more expensive.
Hmm.
It's powerful, but it's like when you go on the international market on the in here on the how you call it on the applicant form. There's not much companies replying back. In my
Hmm.
opinion, I have applied for 13 or something, rep select, but zero replies.
Hmm. What's
So I'm curious, like, and then I go over my like my profile and I say it's not complete, but then I check on everything and I see like I cannot do anything more. The only thing that I can do is record a Loom video.
well, that's the
Uh,
main thing. That's
yeah,
the loom video is 1,000 times more important than any resume.
yeah, okay.
Like I personally, all of the time I've spent in this industry, I've never once used a resume to land a role. It's only
Mhm.
been videos, looms, call recordings, networking. Because at the end of
Yeah,
the day, resume numbers on paper, it's helpful, but not that your resume is bad. It's just when a business owner takes a look at all of the people applying, intro videos are just so much quicker to scan through than the paper. And
yeah,
it
true.
tells you way more information than a resume ever would, because on paper someone can have cash collected, but what they really want to know is what is his communication skills? How does he present himself? Does he have the proper setup and equipment to do this remotely from home? All of those
Yeah,
questions get answered in like 10, 20 seconds in an intro video. So your resume might be great, might say 4 million cash collected, but they might just not even see it, because if they've got 100 applicants with videos and then they see one without one, they're probably just going to watch the videos and pick from that. You know what I
true,
mean?
true. The only problem is like why Loom is a little bit. I had a contact with Loom, but it's a little bit problem. I have a problem with Loom recordings. Give more echo when I record it. So
It doesn't
I
have to be like, I know everyone says it calls it a Loom video. It doesn't have to actually be Loom. A video, it could be off of your phone as long as you like set it up landscape and make it look like it's, you can even jump
yeah
on Zoom and record the actual Zoom room. You can do Google Vids. That's free. Like it doesn't. And when people say send me your Loom, you don't actually have to like use Loom. It just has to be
yeah
a landscape video showcasing how you would show up to a Zoom call, just like how you look right now, minus the blur. 1 minute, pitch yourself, sell yourself. That's what business owners really care about. And I can't tell you how many times I've sat down with a room full of recruiters presenting reps to them, and they had the every single applicant came with full resumes, didn't look at it. They looked at the Loom, they looked at the intro video, made the decision from that, and then moved on.
yeah. Perfect. That's the only question.
And then you
Yeah.
tend to want to move really fast. And
um cool. Annie, saw your hands up. What's up?
Hey, Ty, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for having me here, actually.
No
So I
problem.
see a lot of new people are here. I have a couple of questions, I guess, for the time, but I can start since we talk about the video.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in a sales, high ticket sales, basically about 3 years. When I started, I they did teach me how to do the video, and the past 3 years actually I didn't need it. So always was a referral, or I got an offer by someone who we know.
Yeah.
And now I'm searching for a new opportunity. Obviously, I'm here for one of the reason. So I did record a video, but I see also that the things changed. Like what I knew before, the video was supposed to be less than 1 minute, because people, when they see 1 minute, they're afraid to watch. It's just a little bit psychological. However, now to get hired, I notice your video need to be longer, to say a lot of numbers, to talk more about you, and so on. So I'm not sure actually if it's good my video or no, and I would like to hear some suggestions.
Yeah, I mean, if you have your video, you can send it in the chat. We can review it. But um, 1 minute video is a good length for a general video. The only time I would send a video longer than a minute is if I'm in an application process where they're specifically asking for a length of time. But other than that, I would keep it to 1 minute. And the way I would structure it is, like you said, if you have a track record, use the numbers, use the facts, because every single person is going to talk about how they're coachable, talk about how they're a hard worker. They're going to say all of these like traits that they have, but what's actually, like, you can't fake facts. So if you can come with any facts of your history, like, hey, this is my close rate, this is my show rate, this is the cash collected I have, this is the revenue I've generated, and if you kick it off like that, that's what's most attractive to business owners. I always say, like, try to talk about all of those like facts within the first 10 to 15 seconds of that intro video, because numbers is what's gonna be your hook. And then you can talk about like training that you've gone through, type of team you're looking for, all that other stuff. That's usually the best way to structure the video, because they're going to play it. Again, most of them aren't going to get further than 20 seconds before they make their decision, because they're like, okay, for the track record, realistically, I can look at the resume, but all I want to know is, how does she sound? How does she look? Does she have the proper dedicated space? You know, does she have good communication skills? Is she nervous? Is she stuttering? And then they're going to listen to 10 seconds and be, okay, cool, got it. And then they're going to look at the resume if that first 10 seconds was interesting, right? Mm-hmm. So that's where, you know, someone like Tom, for example, 4 million cash collected, I would kick off that video, be like, hey, I'm Tom, over 4 million cash collected as a closer, you know, and I would just kick it off just like that. And they would be like, oh, interesting. And it's also going to kind of kick them out of that lull of, you know, the nature of their job. If they're doing recruiting, they're probably listening to like 40 intro videos back to back to back, and you need something to kind of like wake them up for a second. And those numbers also help. If you're really slow, like, hey, I'm Annie, nice to meet you, and you like, every video starts like that. If it starts slow, they're just gonna get into it's, you know, you need a pattern interrupt. It's like all marketing. Every piece of media out there needs a hook, right? So if you do have a track record, what's your hook? Your hook is going to be your numbers, because no one's going to have the exact same numbers and track record as you. So that's going to be kind of like the hook I would use if I were you. Does that make sense?
Okay, that's absolutely a great answer, but I'm still not sure if it's good or not because it's not like something I can compare. I believe that I have most of the things, but I'm still doubting in maybe my tonality, because I'm not sure. Sometimes I speak very fast, like now, let's say, but sometimes, you know, when you're on a call, you need to have a patient, you need to talk slowly. So I don't know exactly how I need to present myself in the
Do
video
you have
and
the
how I
video?
can look. Yes, I do. I can
If you have like a
drop it
public
here.
link. Yeah.
But you actually mentioned something what maybe it's kind of also with my second question,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't have a proof. What I mean by that, all the companies which I work, we don't have a sales track, or some of them, it was everything online, and I don't have access to the platform, so I cannot see it. And I have recordings which I attach in my profile. The before that, now my last one, it was
You're
through
saying
the
like you
phone,
won't have
but
like screenshots to prove it, but do you know your numbers off your head for the most part, generally?
yeah, for sure. Like generally, I have the count, and I know obviously how I'm making, like, in between, let's say, the average of monthly close cash collected. Yeah.
Yeah, you can, like, at the end of the day, you talk about your numbers, you talk about what you've done, and you prove what you can, and it's up to them to believe you or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
There's
my
only so
point.
much you
But
can do there, but I think at the end of the day, you don't need a ton of screenshots and proof if you're confidently selling it. You know, if you're letting them know,
yeah,
hey, this is what I've done, and like at the end of the day, I've never had to have a ton of screenshots and prove every piece of commission here and there. They can tell in the way that you communicate, in the way that you talk, that okay, this person knows how to sell, and they've obviously done it. Most people give people enough benefit of doubt. They don't think they're going to fabricate an entire history of sales that they don't actually have, and that's not a endorsement to go and do that, because people won't check. But at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world if you do have the track record but don't have all the receipts to prove it, because most companies also understand that there's stuff you can't bring to other companies because a lot of that stuff is confidential with the clients as you work there. So companies will also understand that piece as well.
Okay, cool. So that's my main questions for the moment. I dropped the video. I'm not sure if you want to open now or later on. So
Yeah,
thank you.
we'll take a
And
look at it, then we'll jump over to Ramona's question. Let me open this up. I'll share
thanks.
screen real quick.
Ty, thanks so much. Have a nice day.
No problem. Have a good one, man.
Ciao.
Let me know when you guys can see the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, this is Anelia. I'm in high ticket space for about 3 years with previous experience in sales, management, and business development. Over the time, I work with different businesses such as marketing agencies, Airbnb, coaching, e-com offer, parents with understanding, also self-development, healing, manifestation offer, as well experiencing fitness and wellness industry. Some of the businesses I partner was startup companies. So I'm experiencing handling outbound and inbound to 35%. And the lowest ticket range I was selling was 1,500, the highest 22,000. The monthly cash collected I mostly generate, depending on the offer and the leads, is between 22,000 up to 65,000. However, my best month cash collected is 120,000. I'm a very ambitious person and absolutely believe that investing in yourself is the biggest treasure you can do. And I'm constantly looking to improve myself. So now I'm not looking for my next sales role. I'm looking for someone who I can become a long-term asset organization which I truly believe in their mission. So I can help with the scaling your revenue, improving customer experience, and growing together. If you're looking for someone who is passionate in helping and improving lives, also flexible and hungry constantly for growth, then let's connect. Thank you.
Cool. So I would say there's nothing wrong with anything you said. The only parts I would address was the order you said it in and the way you said it. So order you said it in, I noticed it took about 55 seconds to a minute before you mentioned any numbers. You talked about your experience in niches that you're familiar with, but kind of like what I said at the beginning here, that hook is going to be 65K monthly cash collected, 120K was my best month. If you've got close rate, if you've got other numbers that are sexy enough, I would throw those on the front end. And then I would say I generated those numbers in XYZ niches, right? And then when I say how you say it, you want to remember that when you're making your intro video, this is you pitching yourself. So you want to be talking like you're talking about the best product or service ever. Because what business owners are looking for in this intro video is they're thinking, okay, if I were to take Annie and I were to take all the words she's saying, get rid of those and swap that out with my service, take her same energy, location, cadence, everything, and just have her pitching my service in this way, would she sell? That's what they're thinking when they're looking at this intro video. So although we'll get on, we'll record an intro video, we'll be very, calm, and we'll just talk about ourselves casually, that wouldn't be how you would necessarily pitch if you were on an offer, if you were pitching something that was amazing for someone who really needed it. You'd have a little bit more passion, a little bit more seriousness to it. You know what I mean? There would be a difference in how you'd pitch it. And that's how you want to present yourself. Like, hey, listen, I'm awesome at this. I'm going to crush it here. Like, you know what I mean? You want to pitch it like it's the best thing ever. Because you're selling a service. You're selling your sales service to the company. That's what it is. It's a 1-minute pitch. Right? So you want to get on there and be like, hey, I'm Annie. Nice to meet you. I'm here to tell you why I'm going to be your next best closer. I have over 300,000 cash collected, 1 million cash collected across multiple different niches, fitness, this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, get in there and really just pitch it with some energy. You've got the track record to do it. And I think it would be a killer intro video, and you can easily get it to a minute and 20 seconds just talking about, this is what I've done, this is the niches I did it in, this is how I've continued to develop myself, this is the kind of company I'm looking for. You know, I'm happy to jump on a call, do a mock showcase, see if we're a good fit for each other. Let's get it going. Do a strong CTA at the end, and it'll be a great intro video.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what I needed to hear. So thanks for your help.
No problem. Ramona, what's up?
Hello, hi. I have two questions, if that's all right. First one is based on what we just discussed right now. What if you would not have that type of experience? What type of hook would you use?
Yeah, so I would focus on achievements in anything in like work, life, because at the end of the day, two things business owners are looking for, or three things. One, like I said before, they're looking for communication skills. How do you sell yourself? So the less track record you have, the more they're going to lean on how does she communicate, right? Secondly, they're looking for, do you have some kind of dedicated space, the proper equipment to, you know, so that I can put you in front of business owners, especially B2B offer, they're going to put you in front of 7-figure business owners. Do you look professional? And that doesn't mean you need like some fancy setup or fancy office or anything like that. Just a blank wall, you know, if it just doesn't look like you're in your kitchen taking calls. That's really it. You know, it just needs to look like some form of dedicated space, decent camera, good audio quality. That's the second thing I'm looking for. Third thing now is track record and what you've achieved. If you don't have the track record, there's only so much you could do. You'll have to lean heavier on your communication skills, right? Business owners want to see that no matter what organization you've been a part of, no matter what you've done, you were a top performer in some sense of the word. So sales reps that were on former teams, if you were the top rep on that team, mention that. If you were number one in your sport, mention that. If you did whatever you did, mention what you achieved at that company. If you worked in a different department, if you worked in marketing and you didn't do anything with sales, talk about how what you did in marketing helped the company scale to XYZ. Whatever it is, just make it very achievement based, all of your stuff. If you had any type of leadership role, supervisor role, talk about that. And then talk about how that has made you great at sales. Don't talk about how you think you'll be good at sales. Don't talk about how you're transitioning now into sales. Don't say anything that's going to make you sound like a complete beginner. Speak as if you already are, right? So instead of saying something like, my supervisor role at XYZ company, I was able to lead people, you know, manage people, whatever. And that's why I think now going into sales, no, don't say that. You would say, hey, my supervisor role here, leading people, communicating with people, helping people overcome whatever is part of what makes me really great in as a closer or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So speak as if you already are, you know? And that's the best you can do. Then you get your first offer, you get your second offer, and you keep updating your intro video with the numbers and the track record that you get from that.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Very valuable. And the second question I have is in regards to my profile. So now I'm new into the space. I'm trying to build it.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I go back to it, it says 100% completion.
Mm-hmm.
I go off, I go back again, and it's 93% completion. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
If it shouldn't go up and down. I do know we added an email verification thing that changed complete profile status if people didn't like verify their email, because before you could just put like any email and then you would set up your account, but now I think the development team, we added like a verification thing, so you have to verify your email and then it'll go back to 100%. But if you click it, it should say what's required. If you click on like the incomplete thing, it'll say like headlines missing or this is missing and that. If it says all fields are filled, it's probably the email verification thing. But if you send if you're in school, if you just DM me the share link to your profile, I could probably just take a look at your profile and be like, hey, I think this is missing.
Okay, super. Thank you.
No problem. Is it Hamayan?
You've got it right. Hi, Ty. Nice to meet you. I'm pretty new in the platform. So I'm a closer that's been in the space for about 6 years. And I'd like you to kind of just have a glance over my profile to see if there's anything I can do to improve it.
Yeah, drop it in.
I'm still getting used to understanding, learning it. I think I just signed up a couple of days ago and I saw a button to join this meeting. And I'd love to actually get my profile reviewed.
Yeah, drop it in the chat. Drop a link. We can
How do
take a
I
look at it.
how do I drop the link?
If you go to profile, top right corner, if you didn't claim like your username yet, top right corner will have like the share icon.
I didn't claim a username yet. Let me just.
You don't have to claim it first. You can just click the top right corner, hit the share button there, and it'll should copy the link.
All right, I'm doing that now.
And then while he pulls that up, Gustavo, did you have a quick question? You're on mute.
Yeah, so it was very it's kind of like I was trying to know. So I see some rules that are in the free apply section, and when I try to apply, I don't know if I have to sign up for a form. I'm a bit lost there.
Yeah, so what happens is when you click apply, certain jobs, those ones will be they'll just submit your profile usually. So like when you click apply, it'll be like your profile's been submitted. And then what happens is your profile goes into that business owner's applicant tracking system. And then they go from there. If they like your profile, they'll reach out or something like that. I would also suggest, I mean, if you see the company name and all that, reach out to them directly too. But yeah, that's pretty much just like it's just like a simple, easy, quick apply thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I tried to like, and it's like, where is this going? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't. There's no like extra form or anything after that one.
Yeah. And my second company is how are companies vetted before they post? It's
Yeah,
for
so someone on my team, they go through the website, they do like a online search about them, they make sure that some of the numbers add up, things aren't fishy. We also have like a AI kind of review that scours the internet for them and looks up on like scam sites and looks at their domain register, make sure it's not like a brand new registered domain, and a whole bunch of different checks and stuff like that to make sure they're as legit as possible. Obviously, things always can slip through. People are crafty, but definitely a lot better than a lot of what's out there.
okay. Yeah. Those were all my questions at this point.
No problem. Awesome. Let's look at this profile. Everyone can see this?
Yep.
Sweet. So I would make this a little bit more of a zoomed in headshot just because it's a little bit small. So I would cut it off like mid chest. That way we can see your face a little bit better. Scrolling through, we'll look at the intro video last. Summaries filled out. Got some stuff in the portfolio. Different niches. Cool. We'll take a look, make sure the links work here. I would so when it comes to making a portfolio, think about it from a business owner's standpoint. It's like if you're going through tons and tons of applicants, every business owner has different aspects that they care about. If you've probably seen different sales trainers, for example, say like everything like objection handling is what matters, everything else doesn't matter. Some people believe discovery is what matters, nothing else matters. Some people believe if you got a great pitch, it doesn't matter, everything else is garbage, right? So you don't know what the sales ideology of the business owner is. Therefore, you don't know what they care about in these recordings. And like for me, example, if I'm going through and I'm like seeing call recording, and if I click it, it might be like, let's say an hour or something.
Thomas?
In order to see what I want to see, it's going to be somewhere in here. That's a lot of work. The more work you make people do, this is just how we as people are, the less we're just not going to do it. We're just going to skip over it, you know? So what I would do is I would treat this like a highlight tape where, yes, you have some full calls, but the majority of this portfolio, let's see if we can get it labeled with some specifics. Like if you called this call recording where I did X, Y, and Z, or like prospect was, you know, super tough in the first 5 minutes, check out this timestamp. You know what I mean? Or call recording where I handled hard objections at the end, starting at timestamp 45th minute. You know what I mean? Like label it so they're like, oh, I want to see objection handling. Or you can say like solid pitch of XYZ product or service. Oh, I want to see pitch. I want to see how he pitches. I want to see how he handles objections. I want to see how he does a deep discovery. Label these. That way it's not just like random which call. And that way it also gives you some control to showcase your best. Because I'm sure you did better things in call 3 than you did in call 1 than you did in call 2. Right? So you can say, you know, if you handled objections like a champ here in call 1, label it like objection handling, price objection, crushed it at minute 45, label that. So then when they click this and they see that, they're like, oh, our team really struggles with price objections. Let me see what he's talking about here. You know what I mean? And then they can get right to what they want to see. That's what I would do with the portfolio. Employment, biggest thing you want to do is make it very achievement based. Inbound closer on a 6-person team. Were you the number 1, number 2, number 3? If not, then you could just not put it there. You don't want to say I was number 6, right? But if you were top of the team, I would definitely mention that.
I was.
Okay, so say that. Yeah, absolutely. And that's something I would mention in the intro video too. Train, mentor other closers, script audits, close, okay, da-da. If there's close rates, high close rate that you can mention here, I would put that too. But yeah, main thing here is just make sure it lists your achievements. What did you achieve? For example, 100K a month. What was the company? Okay, was it 200K a month company? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, solid. Yeah, so that's what I would. That's what I would talk about. Like if did you scale the company to a certain amount, right? Like was the company at, 100K a month when you got there, and since you joined in the team, it was a 300K a month company, or you know what I mean? So talk about how you helped the company grow. That kind of stuff would be good. And then you've got places that you got some training at, which is solid. Let's take a look at the intro video.
Hello, my name is Humayun, and I am a high-ticket closer, and I've been in this space for about 6 years now, and I've collected over $6.35 million cash collected across my 6 years. I started in sales back in 2019 when I did a course with Dan Locke. But of course, ever since then, I've been always developing my skill set. I've studied Jeremy Minor. I went through Cole Gordon's course, and I worked across many industries, whether it's B2B or B2C. I've done coaching, consulting, education offers, AI offers, business growth offers, e-com, Amazon, you name it. And I'm based in the UK, London, but I do mainly operate in US hours, and I can do both UK and US hours. Matter of fact, I've spoken to leads all across the world, whether they're based in Australia, the Middle East, UK, US, Canada, all around the world. And I personally believe that sales is change. When a prospect wants to move from where they are right now to a future desired state that they want to be in. And I believe as my role as a closer is to actually show them the gap between where they are and where they want to be. And I also believe that sales is not a single moment of decision. I believe a prospect goes through a few different phases and states to actually take action at the end of the call. And it starts off at the very beginning with them.
What I would actually do with a video like this is I would add it to your portfolio. I'm not sure what you talk about for the next 3 minutes, but I would add it to your portfolio as like learn more about me or my story or something like that, right? What you want this to be is like a really quick pitch giving an overview of what you put here, right? And the achievements that you've had. Think of it like a movie trailer, 1 to 2 minutes max. I would say max a minute, 20 seconds, quick pitch, get them interested, get them hooked on what you can do for them, money you can make them. And then if you want to have a longer video where you're doing like a long walkthrough of your beliefs in sales, your ideologies, your history, your training, all that stuff, I would put that in the portfolio and title it like my story. And then you could even do a call to action at the end here being like, hey, if you want to learn more about my beliefs in sales and these things, I've got another video down below. Just because when people are scrolling through, again, they're probably not going to take the time to watch for.
Do you think I could cut that video at 1 minute before I start expanding?
Let me see. Where do we end off here? Because we want a strong call to action at the end. So
UK and US hours. Matter of fact, I've spoken to leads all across the world, whether they're based in Australia, the Middle East, UK, US.
It wouldn't be a bad video if you cut it here, but it wouldn't be your best. So I would definitely just record one dedicated for that, because you have a lot of good history and track record here that you could just get on and crush out a quick 1 minute where you talk about what you're good at, what you've done, how you were number 1 on the team of 6, how you helped the company scale to this, how you had this close rate, how you also used your skills to train other people on the team and help them up level their game. Like, you know what I mean? You could probably just get on and say that for a minute and it would be a super solid video, better than cutting this at 1 minute.
Got it.
But
By the way,
overall solid.
when it comes to employment, I can see. I mean, for all of those, I've uploaded my sales trackers and invoices and so forth. But only one of them got verified. Is that just a time thing, or do
Was
you need
that
more?
recent? Was that like super recent or?
I mean, I uploaded it like 2 days ago. I don't know how long it takes.
Okay. Well, I have a guy that manually goes through all of them. So if it was like 2 days ago, not too much work on the weekend, but yeah, you should probably get to them
It
verify them
was probably
soon.
late Friday, so yeah.
Late Friday, yeah. So he'll probably
Yeah,
get to them in the next day or two. It doesn't affect. It doesn't like affect. Like it still shows on your profile and all that. It's just an extra trust layer for the business owner, so it should be verified super quick. If you don't see it in the next day or two, shoot me a message. I'll make sure it gets verified.
sure.
Cool. Any other questions? What else we got?
But by the way, you know the profile views, is that something that happens naturally? Is that something I should be monitoring?
You don't need to worry too much about it. It's like as you share your profile around, like if you use it as like an external share thing, as you share it around, it'll accumulate views that way. Or sometimes when business owners are looking at your profile when you've submitted it to and like apply to jobs, you'll know when people are looking at it.
And the jobs, do they come daily or is that?
Yep. We add about 5 to 10 a day. It just depends on how many businesses register for accounts and post jobs. But yeah, usually about 5 to 10 new jobs are posted every day.
And I just press the search job button and then filter
You
and
can
go.
hit search or go to like, I don't know if you're on the app, but it's the furthest tab to the left. The newest jobs are always at the top.
Sure. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. I think Lily, you had a intro video you want to look at?
Yeah, it's in the comments.
Cool. Let's take a look.
I know you said in the last video that I was too stiff. I don't know if this one's any better. I feel like this one shows more my personality, like more relaxed.
Yeah, we'll take a look. You screen recorded the video?
Hi, my name
Yeah,
is Lily. I'm a United States-based closer in the Eastern time zone. I am certified in consultative selling for coaching, consulting, and online education companies that generate inbound opportunities through sales funnels. I'm also part of a network that keeps their closers up to date on the latest, most advantageous trends involving the industry that would be of great benefit to whatever company I join. I lean heavily into Jeremy Miner's APQ techniques, and I utilize a mixture of gap selling and doctor's framework, but I'm also open to modification if that helps your company best. I currently have full-time availability and I'm looking forward to learning more about your offer, your team, and the clients you serve. Thank you for your time.
Biggest thing is I wouldn't want to be reading off anything. Just talk naturally. Just, speak to the camera yourself.
because I know last time I was using the teleprompter and that's what made me really stiff. And like I've tried to memorize it and I just end up like, I don't know, I feel like I have to be looking at something.
Well, you got to practice until you can say it. You got to keep practicing. Because at the end of the day, and that's why I say your first task is to learn how to sell yourself, because business owners are also saying like, hey, if you can't get on for a minute and pitch yourself, how are they going to pitch my service? Because they're going to give you a script. They're going to give you a pitch and say, hey, this is the service. You're going to have to go and pitch it. You're going to have to memorize how that service or product is presented, right? So I think you can do it. You just got to practice more and like speak in your own language, You don't need to like corporatize your words or write stuff that you think sounds professional. Just like how you would speak that way. And if you just like literally if you ditch the script and just say, I'm going to pitch myself for a minute, and just do that over and over again. Because like if you're trying to write the script and memorize it, that's one thing. But if you're just ditch it and talk about yourself for a minute quickly, do that a bunch of times, and I guarantee one of them is going to be solid.
I mean, I did handwrite this, and it was like the shortest thing. But like when I try to like, I don't know, I just like my mind just goes blank. Like, cause I feel like I haven't really done that much. Like I was a dialer and I hated it. Like I hated dialing. Because it was mostly just like them having me resurrect all their dead leads. And I was just like, fuck this. But so I guess I have another question. I watched your video yesterday and it was about the making clips
Mm-hmm.
of like your highlight. Like that's for like people that don't have any experience. And so oh yeah, so I'm gonna be doing the Closer app. They have like it's like a closing simulation. So you're talking to AI and then
Mm-hmm.
you're like running through a sales call. So can I use clips of that or should I do like a real actual person? Or does it not
I mean, if
matter?
it if it sounds good, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that one. If it sounds good, it should be fine. But it is better usually to use a person for that stuff. But again, at the same time, if it's fine to practice with it. And if you have a clip where you're like, you know what, I really sound solid in this one, I handled it really well, then it's not going to hurt to use it for sure.
Yeah. The other thing with my like with my script, it's for some reason it's difficult when I'm trying to do a broad like a broad intro video, but I've
Mm-hmm.
done intro videos that came from my heart before, but I can only do that with a very specific closer. Like I was really excited for closing for this one offer and it just came out naturally, but because I'm trying to do it broad, I don't know, I just like don't remember.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, you could think about your excitement for the position as a whole, if that's what helps.
Because it was an offer that I really believed in, and I was like, oh my God, I could so sell this because I love their offer. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, talk about that. Talk about how, your conviction goes through the roof when there's an offer in front of you that you really believe in, and that's why I'm applying to this role. Like, you can pretend you're speaking to an offer that you do believe in, because that's the ones you should be submitting applications for anyway. Talk as if that's who you're already speaking to without getting into the weeds about the niche, right? At the end of the day, I would say, hey, I'm Lily. It's nice to meet you. This is my experience. This is what I've done. I've done dialing. I've done this. What I'm really looking for is to sell an offer I believe in, because when I, can get behind something, I go all in and I can get really excited. And, I know conviction sells. So I'm here to, and that's why I'm submitting this application to your, job, because I saw that you guys do great work and I'm looking forward to talking more and seeing if we're a good fit for each other. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be crazy, 30 seconds to a minute introducing yourself,
Okay, so I should do another video.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to be holding your phone like reading off of it, because at the end of the day, they're not looking for your ability to read a script off of your phone. They just want to see how you talk.
It's really frustrating because I feel like when I get on an actual call, it's it's different than how I represent myself in the intro video. I'm just like, I fucking hate this intro video because it's like, I don't know, it's like the biggest wall.
Well, get on a call with someone and tell them what you're good at, and then record that and crop you, and there's your intro video. Could just
Okay.
get on Zoom with someone, right? Zoom, it's got like just like how we are on Zoom right now. Get on a Zoom with someone, record it, go in like an editor and just like crop yourself out and just like talk to someone. Tell them what you've done, tell them whatever, have them ask you a question at the beginning and then answer it, or you could pretend you are, but if it helps to actually have someone there, do it in like a role play setting. That might help.
Right. Here's so would it be easier to pretend you're someone else? Like Shelby Sapp says to sometimes use like an alter ego. Like if you can't do it as you, like pretend to be someone else. What do
If
you
you
think
find
about
that
that?
helpful, yeah, you could. There's a lot of a lot of like performers and actors and singers and stuff. They do that. So you could
Okay.
try if that's helpful for you. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to make a bunch of them. Don't be afraid to just leave the camera on as well for like 30 minutes and just keep trying. And then again, you can always crop it out. You'll get a good minute somewhere in there if you just ditch the script, turn on the camera for half an hour and just kept pitching yourself. You know what I mean?
I've redone these videos like over 100 times, and I keep deleting them because they don't sound good, and yeah, it's so annoying.
Stop trying to sound corporate. Stop trying to follow the script. Stop trying to be professional. They want to see how you communicate genuinely, because when you're on a sales call, that's what it is. At the end of the day, like, every prospect has this BS meter. They can tell when someone's trying to follow this tight script. They just, at the end of the day, want someone that can just communicate with them and help them answer their questions and help point them in the right direction. People can tell when someone's just talking to them versus looking over their shoulder to see what's the next question in their script. So just get used to talking to the camera.
Okay. I guess
Try that out.
I don't want to I don't want to get stuck in like crappy offers because I feel like I don't know. It's easier to, and I saw this in your video yesterday too, like it's so much easier to get on a good offer that does most of the work, because I've been on a spammy offer before, and it was so hard to like they didn't even want to be on the call with you. Like I felt like I was spamming people the whole time, and I was just like, oh my God. I'm so afraid that I'm gonna get stuck in another situation like that, and that it's gonna jade me from sales forever, and I'm gonna quit. That's my biggest fear. So that's why I'm like, I do not want to get in a bad offer, because it's gonna crush me and I'm gonna quit, and then I'm not gonna make money. So
Well, the best ways is build relationships as well. Kind of like, I think it was Annie that said it earlier, that, you know, there was tons of offers she landed just through her network, just through referrals, just through some of the best people I've worked with, whether it was a sales role or just a consulting role, where there was no interview. It was just like, hey, this person said you're good, so, and I trust them, so let's do it. You know what I mean? So you can build those relationships with other people. You could also build those relationships with recruiters, right? To where you'll send your intro video, follow up with them, keep touch base with them, comment on their content, and stay in touch. And you can get placed on a really good offer as well if you spend spend your time networking and building relationships with people. That'll be helpful as well to land really, really solid offers.
I was recruited. Like my first offer was an apprenticeship. My second offer was, I did get recruited into an agency, and they had multiple offers, and I got stuck on the fitness one. And the agency was amazing. Like they were so supportive, but the offer itself sucked. Like the guy was super spammy. And like I was just like, how am I, this offer sucks, and everybody knows it sucks, and it feels really scammy.
Some of them slip through. If they make money, they make sense for a lot of those agencies, right? At the end of the day, they got a bunch.
It was one of those like
and,
bro fitness.
At the end of the day, yeah. I mean, so for example, I had this one client who, he really loved this one offer because he used to be a fan of their content, right? He used to follow their page, he used to follow the influencer, and he actually ended up getting an interview there because the, you know, sales recruiting company I was with placed him in an interview. And he talked about that in the interview, how he really believed in what they did and loved what they did, and how he follows the, you know, the influencer and all that stuff. And he passed that interview and he got the mock call. And then he did the mock call, and then after he did the mock call, he came to me. I was coaching him at the time, and he was like, I'm super nervous. I think I bombed it. And then he got a call from them the next day saying that, yeah, you kind of sucked on that mock call. But then they said, although other candidates did better in the mock call, we're going to still give you the job because we would rather work with someone who has a passion for what we do and understands the value that we bring, because we know conviction sells. So we're going to give you the job instead, even though you didn't do that well on the mock call. So at the end of the day as well, if you are applying for a role where you're like, I see they get great results, they have great testimonials, I really want to help these people achieve or overcome or whatever, see the transformation that this company's providing, you can just get on an interview. You can just talk about that. You can just DM that in your outreach. And business owners especially will recognize that, because usually that same passion is why that business owner started that company, right? And they would love to hire someone else that could see what they see in the service they're providing as well, rather than most people that they get in touch with, which are sales reps that are just like, what's OT, what's the OT, what's the OT, can I make a lot of money, you know? So use that passion for the offers you really want to work with as well. And the intro video, although it is the most important asset when it comes to applying, it's also not the only thing that will get you the role. Connections, showcasing your passion, genuineness, following up, and actually hunting for companies that you really like rather than just good structured offers. It's going to go a long way. It's going to go a long way.
I saw the School of Hard Knocks on your rep select, and I was like, oh my god, like I know them, they're so cool. But he's like, I think he said he wanted 6 months, and I'm like, oh.
I was so mad. Up with him.
I love him.
Yeah, stay in touch. I would still follow up. I would still stay in touch. I would still connect with other reps on the team. I would, you know what I mean? Because if it takes you a little bit longer, if you've got to do something else to, like, everyone should be building that list of like dream offers that they really want to land as well, alongside whatever they're applying to or wherever they're working. Because you can always, if it takes you a year, if it takes you 6 months, if you go back and end up working for that company. I mean, some people go to school for like 5-10 years to get the job they want. I mean, we could probably stay in touch with a company for a few months to a year to get a good offer, especially if it has the earning potential that we want to see, So I wouldn't just give up on it because he said, oh, I want 6 months of experience or whatever. You know what I mean? I would still follow up, still stay in touch.
And then I think he also wanted I looked at the type form, and he's like, he also wanted cash collected, and I was like, oh man, I don't even like pass the type form.
Oh, it was just in the even if it's just the type form, forget about that. Just apply anyway. The worst thing you can say is no.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I would still apply, and I would still reach out directly because, and a lot of people ask this. They say, oh, can I still land a role if I don't have the experience? There's offers that are saying experience required. I always say, like, beginners with no experience are accepted but not looked for, right? Because if you think about it, no company is going to say, they're not going to go out of their way to say, hey, we want someone without experience, but they will accept someone without experience if they showcase some of these other traits that we're talking about. You know what I mean? So the job post is supposed to be something, the job post, the form, that's something that's like, we're putting this out there, we're putting a net out there to catch the absolute best people we could possibly get, and we filter down from there. There's some business owners, they put out job posts and they just can't get some of the top talent that they want, and they have to hire other talent, people that with less experience and stuff like that as well.
Like I saw the School of Hard Knocks on here probably like a couple weeks back, and then I think they got their person, but now they're back. So I'm just like, oh, like they must have, like, the other person must have not have done so well, or they want to like expand their team.
Yeah, and that's why I would keep following up, and I would also not be afraid to apply to like older posts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll get a good one. You'll get a good one. Just don't stress too much about the script. Turn on the camera, talk in front of it, and you'll get a good 1 minute in there at some point. Sound good?
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Adrian, what's up, man?
Hey Ty, I'm here. All right, so real quick, for the same role, I still have the same role.
Mm-hmm.
No sales as yet. Again, it's low ticket, $47. The company is running ads. They spent about $2,000 and only got one person to buy it from an ad. So here I am making these calls to this list for persons that came to the event last year and the year before. It's pure voicemail. And so I did reach out to the owner just to express my interest to invest in myself for a sales free, and just trying to buy myself time to keep the job. But I'm a bit worried because I wouldn't want to be collecting their base rate and not making any sales, and then I don't know when they're going to say this isn't working anymore. So how would you recommend I go about making that work?
Well, the only way to make it work is to figure out why deals aren't closing and start closing deals, right? So you have to produce. When it comes to your numbers, right? So right now they've got an old lead list for you. They're giving you a base pay, and you're calling those old leads that went to their event years prior to sell them tickets to the new event this year, correct?
Correct.
And right now, You're getting mainly voicemail, you're saying, is the issue. Have you been tracking your numbers in terms of dials per day, conversations, pickups, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I'm tracking that in the sheet, and making notes as well as to what happened. I spoke with one person today for almost an hour. He was just so skeptical. But beyond that, something is really, really off, and I'm
But
I'm,
what's the
I'm just trying
numbers?
to
What's the numbers? So like how many
100
dials, how
and
many talk tos per day, how many dials per day?
all right, so 115 dials, um,
Is that today?
eight conversations. That's between Friday to today. Eight conversations, no closes.
So how many did you dial today? How many did you dial on Friday?
Between Friday to today, 112.
Across the 2 days or like per
Yeah,
day?
across 2 days. Yeah, for the 2 days. Yep.
Do you have per day data?
I don't know.
Okay. Because like, yeah, typical, I mean, this is not really appointment setting. You're like doing a low ticket sale, but typical appointment setters will dial anywhere from 1 to 200 a day and set like 3 to 5 appointments. And
Oh,
usually what
okay.
I've seen is talking to like 3 to 7% of the people that you dial. So you want to look at kind of like where your numbers are and if they're falling into average ranges, and then go from there. You
What's
said
the
you
trick
spoke to 8
then?
people. Sorry, go ahead. What's the trick for
7.
what?
What's the trick to be able to like without a power dial or call that much in a day?
Well,
Because
just
because I'm calling, I'm
mhm.
also leaving a voicemail for each one and the SMS, and after leaving, let's say 20 voicemails back to back, it
I
gets
wouldn't leave a
exhausting.
voicemail for each one.
I mean, totally a voicemail for each one. That's in their SOP thing.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't do that. I would have a conversation with them then and just let them know, hey, I can get to more numbers if I like. So usually this is what happens is you want to leave like you can split test different stuff, but typically we would leave a voicemail on like the second or third attempt once we've confirmed, okay, that number, we might not reach them just by calling. We'll try to leave a voicemail. So usually we'll double dial, no pickup, either move on or send a text that's copy and pasted. If not, you just move on to the next number. And on your second go through, you kind of do them in laps, right? So I've done this for dialing, done this for door to door, done this in lots of things. You might put together like a list of 100 numbers. Dial all 100, no answer on the first go. Dial the ones that didn't answer the second time. Okay, the ones that don't pick up that time, maybe you leave a voicemail. Maybe you send a text on that second go, right? Because different numbers also pick up at different times. So, for example, some numbers will pick up in the morning, some will pick up in the evening. So the first half of your day, you dial that whole list, you dial that same list outside of the ones that didn't pick up in the evening. So that way you're making sure you maximize that list. It's the same thing we used to do door to door. We'd have 60 houses, knock all 60 houses for the first half of the day, that from like 1 p.m. to 3, 4, 5 p.m. and then you've got people that get home 6, 7, 8. Then you do a second lap and get all the houses that you didn't like, that didn't answer you on that second lap between 5, 6, and 7, and then you get more people on that second lap. So if you're just dialing every number once, you're probably missing a ton and using more leads than you need to use. Does that make sense?
It does. There's one thing though. This whole idea of work-life balance. I'm trying not to be that workaholic like when I was in my early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it seems like if I start working at 8 a.m., persons are saying call me back in the evening. That means I'm working from like 8 a.m. to like 9 p.m. That's a very, very long day, and I'm trying to avoid that situation for years to come.
Well, you don't have to call them at 9 p.m. I mean, it depends on your time zone and the differences there. But you can take a little bit of control there and set a proper appointment with them, to where you're both available if you get them on the call. Be like, hey, hey, I can't talk now, whatever. Hey, these are when I'm available. Which time works for you, right? You don't need to set an appointment outside of your hours, and you can totally just let them know that that's outside of your hours. Like you're not available at that time or you're busy at that time, I tell every sales rep, it's like you should set your 8 hours, and within those 8 hours, you maximize your time, whether it's selling or setting yourself up to sell. You're either setting appointments or you're closing deals, right? Within that 8 hour time block. And some people will work longer. Yourself, you need to also rest enough so that during those 8 hours, you are at 100%, right? But if you look at your time throughout the day, most reps will see that they're not as efficient as they think they're being. They probably dial, maybe leave a voicemail, pick up their phone for a minute or two, go to the bathroom, come back, dial a second number. Realistically, if you just say, okay, I'm going to dial these 20 numbers, you could probably, if you talk to no one, you could probably get through them in like 30 minutes, like if you're just dialing them back to back to back. And then on the second lap or third lap, you send text messages, you leave voicemails, kind of like as an end of day thing. You know what I mean? And that way you're still leaving voicemails to everyone that didn't answer, but you don't need to call, leave a voicemail, send a text, next one, call, leave a voicemail, send a text. You know what I mean?
Right.
Every time you switch task, there's like an energy cost there. There's like a time cost of like having to go from that to, okay, and you're leaving voicemails over and over and over again. That zaps your energy as well. And then now you're having to take more breaks when you could just literally sit there and just dial while it's ringing, okay, finally someone picked up, you speak to them and you're fully fresh and ready to go there. But if you're like sitting there talking, leaving a voicemail for every single one, I don't know, record a voicemail on your phone and just like play it on the mic. You know what I mean? When you're going, I've done that before too, where I just like hit memos, recorded a voicemail, and then when it's time to hit a voicemail, I just hit play on the memo and it played into the mic. So that way I'm not saying it 100 times, so you could also leave a voicemail every time that way, save some of your energy,
What about having it personalized? Because you'll be like, hey John, hey Kim, like, do I just cut that out then?
No, you could say, hey Kim, play, like you can get creative with it. But I guess the easiest way would just do it on your second or third lap, because the CRM will tell you how much times you dialed them, and the voicemail is kind of like a last resort. You know what I mean? Because you also have some people, like, once they hear the voicemail, they know who you are. They'll purposely ignore the dials now. Like, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I would just, I would do it a little bit smarter, and I would batch tasks. I'd be like, okay, right now I'm just going to get through these 100 numbers for the day. Get through the 100. You can probably get through them in a couple hours, depending on how many people you talk to. And then you can say, okay, now I talked to 5 of them. I'm going to dial the other 90, 95, and this time I'm going to leave voicemails. And then at the end of the day, when you left voicemails, now it's like, okay, now I'm just going to go and batch send text messages to everyone that didn't respond. Because I guarantee you're going to be 100 times faster. Just if you have your, text message copied, you just go paste send, paste send, paste send, paste send, paste send, rather than dial. Okay, now voicemail. Okay, now where's that text message? Okay, now send a text message. Okay, now I'm on to the second number. You could have dialed like 2 more numbers, 3 more numbers in that same block of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One more thing that may be actionable for today is you talked about booking appointments. So this is a list from last year and the year before applicants. So it's kind of warm but kind of cold.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I talk to someone and they say they're busy, what I tried doing last week was to open my Google Calendar. I have their email as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make a title like click event, and then I'll put like discovery call, and then put their email, and then click save, and then there'll be a Google Meet that's sent to them and me.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody has clicked accept for the call, and no one showed up.
Yeah, you have to specify like what it's about, and what because you're selling like a $40 ticket, so it's a little bit different than like high ticket where a discovery call makes sense. Like, it might not make sense to do a discovery call for a event ticket or something. So I would confirm when they're available, confirm the time, confirm that they're free, confirm their interest first of all. You know what I mean? That like they actually want to hear more about this year's event. Because most people will just be like, yeah, call me back later, and they have no intention of talking to you later. Like, that's just a default response for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Because you caught me on the phone. You know, you dialing right now. But that's what I would. That's like I would confirm their interest first, because at the end of the day, you can save your own energy and time. And it's only, and when I set appointments, I probably, if I'm dialing them, I wouldn't do like a whole Google Meet thing. Again, getting on Google Meet and all that just to talk about a $40 ticket event, it seems a little overkill. You know what I mean? So I would just be like, cool. I mean, before I even let you go. And what I love to do, what gets a lot of people to stay on the phone, because first and foremost, people that are actually super busy don't pick up the phone. You know what I mean? Like if they were like, oh, I've got to go in 1 minute, I got this thing, I'm in the middle of it. They usually, if you're that busy, you just don't answer. So the fact that they answered, they could be busy, but they're not that busy because they picked up the phone to an unknown number, you know? Usually that's not 100%. Some people just pick up the phone all the time. Just maybe they're waiting on an important call or something, you know what I mean? So that's not 100% guarantee. But what I like to do is, and this works a lot, at least in my experience, is you kind of imply that you're just as, if not more busy. So you get on the phone, they're like, oh, I'm just busy right now. That I'll be like, oh yeah, for sure, I got a call in like 5 minutes anyways. And then they usually just continue with the conversation with you for at least 5 minutes, because they're like, oh, you got to go, I've got to go, cool. I know you're not just trying to waste 20-30 minutes of my time with something. You know what I mean? It's
cool.
So like I would try that too, when they're just like, I'm busy, don't have time. But cool, yeah, I've got a call in like 5 minutes anyway. And then they also gives them a sense of importance as well, that you're not just here spamming calls, like you've got booked in meetings and stuff like that, you know? So I would ask them before I book that meeting, I'd be like, yeah, I've got a call in like 5 minutes. Just wanted to confirm, are you still looking for help with X, Y, and Z? Are you still looking into X, Y, and Z?
No.
And then go from there. If they say no, then move on, hang up. See ya. What am I going to help someone that doesn't need help or want help? You know what I mean? Don't hang up on them, but be like, okay, cool, no problem, man, and move on. At the end of the day, the name of the game is finding the people, and this is just all sales. You're looking to find people that need and want help. Like, don't fall for people trying to make you think sales is about making people want help that don't want help. You know what I mean? It's like, in the 5 minutes you spend arm wrestling someone that doesn't want help, you could have talked to someone that does, and it would have just been like an easy lay down thing. Especially you're selling something that's $40. Like, I'm not gonna spend more than like 30 seconds on someone that doesn't need help or want to know about the event or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you should be like, I'm gonna get through as many of these numbers as possible. The lower the ticket, the quicker the sale. It's like, you know, I'm gonna get through as many of these numbers as possible to just find. First, I want to just find all the laydowns. Then we can worry about like trying to like have more in-depth conversations. Let me just get all the laydowns out the way so that the cold emails don't get them. Because, you know, you guys have probably got emails going, selling this thing and all that. I want to call someone and have someone be like, oh yeah, I just got the email about the event. I was just about to sign up. Be like, cool, sign up through me. You know, I want to catch all those people first and foremost. Right.
Right.
Again, like, why arm wrestle for like, you know, a $40 thing where the commission is not going to be crazy anyway, you know?
Right.
So yeah, man, like, your goal should be, I just want to get to as many people as possible, because if you're going to arm wrestle for this thing and just drain so much energy. And even if you get like a yes out of it, it's like, you got like what, like $10 commission, you know what I mean? And then you're drained now, you know? Like you said, you spend an hour on the phone with someone for a $40 commission, bro.
Yeah.
For a $40 ticket item, like, come on. You know how many people you could have dialed in an hour? Probably could have found at least one person to be like, yeah, sure, why not? I'll sign up. I don't even know if I'll go, but you know what I mean? Like, you could, you know, it's like, it's $40 of a ticket to an event, you know? Do you have like a link?
Exactly, Cola. Exactly, because it was those voicemails.
That's the thing. Like, I mean, if you've got, do you have so like in your text messages, is there a link where people can like see information on the event and like buy the event and you get credit for it?
Yes.
God, everyone would get that link. Like, I'd be spamming that thing. You know what I mean? It's $40. Like, someone's just gonna be like, cool, let me do it. You know what I mean? just think of volume before you try to like super optimize. Like how can I just get to more people to get that easy lay down yes? Because most sales, like 3 to 5%, sometimes if the marketing is great, 10-15% of your sales are just going to be like people that are just like, yeah, sure, I know these guys, I want to do it. You know what I mean? So you got to find those people first to get your confidence going, and then you can start to be like, how do I optimize this thing? There's setters out there that just like suck at setting, but they make $300 a day and they set a ton of calls. You know what I mean? It's like you don't gotta try to kill yourself. Like think about it, like voicemails. How many of us listen to all our voicemails? Come on, voicemails to
I
every
never
number. Exactly. So how much energy are you zapping giving a voice? You said you dialed in the last 2 days like 150 people. It's 150 voicemails. What's each voicemail? 30 seconds to a minute? It's
Yeah.
like what? My mental math terrible. It's like an hour plus of talking. You know?
Yeah.
It's like it's a lot of energy for like maybe one person heard it, you know? So you could have dialed triple the amount of people in the time it took you to leave those voicemails. So that's what I would focus on. And then like the text messages are better. I would rather you say you spent that time just sending tons of text messages, you know? Like, hey, this is the event, and just did some follow up or something. Like if that events page is killer, you'll get someone, you know? That's what I would focus on, dude. Make sense?
Cool. All right. Thanks, Ty.
No problem. Cola, what's up, man?
Yeah, what's up? How you doing, Ty? Always appreciate you. Good stuff, what you do. But can you hear me though?
Yep. Yeah, I can hear you.
Do you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So for me, quick one, I've been doing like a couple of interviews. Like last month, I did have about four, and I believe I'm getting better at each interview. So the last one I had was a group interview whereby it was a recruitment agency for a DM setting type of role. And they did, review various candidates and ask us questions. And we also asked questions at the end, and they told us next steps. So I was very optimistic about it. It was last week, Friday, I had it, but only for me to get an email 24 hours, and I was being added to their WhatsApp pipeline so that whenever they get offers that aligns with us, there are about 100 plus of us in the WhatsApp pipeline group. So my concern now is what can I expect on how to land a role within a pipeline basis? Because they're trying to find business owners that align with a group of us in the pipeline. So what are
Is
my
this a
chances of,
recruiter or who is this person? What is this?
yeah, they're recruited like a recruitment manager through a DM setting type of role.
Oh,
So
they're doing
they
done for you sales agency DMing, or are they trying to place you somewhere?
know they're trying to place us with business owners, maybe on
Okay.
Instagram and all the likes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, those
So
kind of
now we have been,
things. So
mm,
like, so they put you in a WhatsApp group, and does he just drop offers in there, or what do they do?
well, for now, I only just joined the WhatsApp group like on Saturday, but I guess during the course of the week they drop offers, and we're supposed to drop an emoji for interested offers, and they collate everything and send it to business owners. Then, of course, business owners that shows interest in us will reach out to us, and maybe we'll move on to the next step to be placed. So it's
Okay.
more like a fingers crossed thing, but I don't know what to hope for from that.
Yeah, it depends on
But
their
I don't know
system.
what's your take. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
Mm.
I don't know what their system is, but with recruiters,
The
typically it's just about speed. You
DMsetting.com.
know. Oh, dmsetting.com.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes, about
I've seen
speed.
them.
Yeah,
I've seen them,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, typically when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
recruiting, it's just like they want talent fast, right? So people that respond quick,
Mm-hmm.
answer quick, jump on these things quick. You usually get more opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And then with recruiters, they're dealing with so many people that you have to make sure to follow up with them
Exactly.
often. Like there's a
Exactly.
lot of people, for example, that I've met with Zach Brown. I've met with guys at Cole Gordon stuff tons because I used to work there at Closers.io, and tons of times we would have reps message and be like, hey, I haven't gotten offers from the pipeline in a while. And I'll be like, well, when's the last time you reached out? It's like, well, I applied and got into the pipeline like 3 months ago, and they gave me a couple offers at the beginning, and now I'm just waiting for more. I'm like, just letting you guys know, there's over like 100,000 reps in the pipeline. So it's like you're gonna sit there and hope that they pick you out of that haystack consistently. It's like, there's new reps joining the pipeline every single month, so you gotta reach back out every single month to stay top of mind. It's not because they don't like it. It's not even because your application sucks. It's just it's just about staying top of mind. The odds of them being like, all right, out of the 100,000 people here, oh yeah, Cola would be great for this offer. You know what I mean? So when it comes to these recruiters, you're gonna see them post offers all the time. You've gotta, like, whenever every offer you see them post, you've got to reach out and tell them why you're a good fit for that offer. But never look at it and be like, oh yeah, they know me, I'm in their pipeline, if they are gonna interview me for this, they'll reach out. It's like, no, they don't remember who you are. Most cases, there's so many people coming through. You know what I mean? So that's what recruiters respond quick and reach out for every single offer that you like.
So it's always good to keep in touch with the recruiter, maybe WhatsApp or whatever platform, as much as
top
well.
Of mind, always.
Top of mind. Yeah. Cool.
When I say keep in touch, it's not like, hey, anything yet? It's like, because you're gonna see them.
No. I don't want to be a pest. So I'm gonna give them. Yeah. Obviously.
Contextually about the offers they post. Cool. Jeff, what is up?
Hey, great to finally put a face to the name and speak with you. So thank you for the videos you've been putting out. I could use a little help with portfolio. I don't really have, like it says in there, add sales skills and track record, or I don't really have role play clips and tracking sheets and commission screenshots and things like that. So I was just kind of wondering what would you suggest you put into there versus the profile summary?
Yeah, portfolio isn't a must to land roles. I've seen recruiters say like having examples in call recordings has seen like a 10 to 20% lift, which, it's definitely helpful. But when it comes to the portfolio, the best thing you can do is start to build it. Just like think of it like an artist who wants to get into like graphic design or something like that. They just start designing stuff and building a portfolio. As a sales rep, what you could do is start doing role plays and connecting with people to do role plays on a niche that you're interested in or that you're most likely going to apply to, so that you can showcase to business owners how you would sell their specific type of product or service. If you're looking to get into like a marketing type of offer, maybe you get on a call with Lily or you get on a call with Cola or something, and you guys do a mock call of you selling a marketing service, and then you take those clips and put that in your portfolio. Again, not 100% must, but definitely it's helpful, has a meaningful lift.
Okay. So what I'm hearing you say is you try to get some mock calls, if anything, things like that.
Yeah, jump on. Fathom is a good kind of like, probably in the rep network, you'll see a link to it at the top, but Fathom is a good software that just kind of, you see people got their note taker in here. They just jump in the meeting and it will record like it's recording this conversation right now. And then you can kind of take that, either use the link directly, Fathom link, as you're recording, or you can download it and cut it up if there's different parts you want to showcase of your sales call, or even if you just want to use timestamps. But yeah, just create them pretty much.
Have you seen people just kind of, let's say if you weren't able to connect with somebody to role play, that you just do it even just by yourself?
I've seen it like once or twice. It's not the most effective way to do it, I would say. I mean, at the end of the day, role playing and practicing with people is something you're going to want to do regardless. I'm not saying you could do it, but it usually doesn't have the same effect, because business owners, they want to see how you handle different situations in conversation. So even if you want to do it with like AI or something, that would be better than just saying, hey, this is what I would say if the prospect said that. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. All right, cool. That helps out. So mainly just fill it up with specific instances of role play, making it easy in the name of it. It's like handle
Yeah.
objection well at the 3:52 mark.
Yeah, so like you can either do full calls and just timestamp them, or you just jump on and you say, "Hey, we're gonna literally give me a price objection," and then you can just start from the pitch and then handle the objection.
Right.
Or like if you wanted to showcase how you would handle someone who's kicked off the call difficult. Let's say you get on a call with a prospect and you're introducing yourself. Hey, nice to meet you, Jeff. All that, and you're just like, "Well, tell me what the price. Tell me what it is."
Yeah.
How would you handle that situation? Showcase that for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and show that you're still able to, keep the call in control and get into the conversation. And that would be a clip of, and then you would label that like kicking off the call with a difficult prospect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And that
totally.
way they would see that highlight, kind of like a highlight reel, highlight tape. Yeah, pretty much.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, cool. And I have a profile video up there. It doesn't, but I'll replay or redo it. But you're saying stack it more with your stats and things like that.
Yeah, stats, numbers, facts, achievements. That's what the business owners care about. The first 10 to 15 seconds, 10 to 20 seconds, should, if you do have the track record, if you don't, that's one thing. But if you do, that's where you want to list it. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Jeff. Looking forward to working with you as a closer. I've done X, Y, and Z. Just right into the,
Okay. All right.
the
Awesome.
facts and stats. This is what I've done. This is the revenue, cash collected, closes, whatever, niches, industries. This is what I'm good at. Just get in there and sell yourself.
Right. All right. Cool. Is there a recording of this later or?
Yeah. So this recording is going to get posted in the school community most likely tomorrow.
All right. Cool. Thanks for your help, buddy.
No problem. Any other questions before we hop off? Going once, going twice. Cool. Looks like we're good to go. Hopefully this call was helpful for you all. We do this every single Monday. So if you need more support, I will be here next week, Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. See you guys in the next one. Have a good one.